Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now, welcome back to League Discussion, the series that I take topics, rip them apart, my own opinions and experiences, and encourage you guys to join in the conversation in the comment section below. Just to remind you, like I'm doing in most videos now at the beginning, we've got the big Steel Series giveaway. It's linked also in the description, and the Huzzy Cannon t-shirt is available for the next few days. But today's two topics, we're not doing more than two. It's two pretty big ones, I guess. The first one is probably going to be the one that I reckon people are going to have more opinions about. And that is going to be about the champion mastery system, and it's going to be about, a couple things within the champion mastery system. One talking about like exactly what is it for, and how I would recommend they could change it if they wanted to make it better, and then a couple other things. And then the second thing we're going to be talking about is the brand new Clash game mode. That is the in-client game mode. So I thought I'd just give my opinion about it, and then also just give advice, because I've played in a lot of tournaments in the past. And already on stream, people have been saying, what would I recommend? This type of thing. So we're going to talk about that as the second topic. But first, let's begin with Champion Mastery. Now, the reason why I'm talking about Champion Mastery today is over, I don't know, the last week, on the front page of Reddit, there has been, I'd say, 2 or 3 basically identical threads. It's not like Reddit to be repetitive, cough. But it's basically been about why does it cost Blue Essence to unlock Mastery 6 and Mastery 7. So that is the reason why I'm talking about the Mastery system, is because it is apparently a topic people are talking about. But we're going to talk about more things than just why does it cost. We're going to be talking about exactly what is the system for, and then also things that I think they should do if they wanted to make it better. So the first thing to talk about is why does it cost Blue Essence to upgrade your Mastery to Mastery 6 and Mastery 7? And it basically boils down to it's a cosmetic item. The mastery system, some people have taken it the wrong way, which I'll talk about soon, but some people think it's a thing to show skill when it's not that. It's have never been about that. Riot have never kind of said it's about skill. Riot have always used the wording it's about like dedication to a champion, not skill. So it's just a cosmetic. It's just for people that are, like, want to show a little bit extra on their champion profile or their player profile of champions that they enjoy a lot. It's not meant to be like, let's say, an early game thing. It's meant to be like a late game thing, It's meant to be you've unlocked everything that you've wanted to get, recently. You've got all the champions you want. You've got all this, all that. Then you can start like going, okay, I've got everything that I want. Let's go for more like bonus stuff and cosmetic stuff. And that's where mastery comes in. And to some people that are like really complaining about it, you have to imagine a lot of people have played League for a long time. And like me, after the whole change of Blue Essence, I had 350,000 Blue Essence. It's a Blue Essence sink. We need this type of thing. Otherwise, people's Blue Essences keep going up and up and up and up. And to the person that's complaining, going, oh yeah, but I don't have any. Again, the system's not for you. You're not ready for the system. It's not designed for somebody who has just leveled up one character to Mastery 5 and instantly wants Mastery level 6. The system isn't for that. The system is an extra bonus thing when you've unlocked everything you want. And it's just a cosmetic. That's the point. So that's just that out the way. That's why it costs. It's a Blue Essence sink for a cosmetic item. That's it. It's not meant for early game people. It's not meant for new people in League. It's not probably meant for people that are just kind of like midway in League. It's meant for like late game, if that sounds like normal, that you've got everything unlocked you want to, and now you're just going for bonus cosmetic stuff as a Blue Essence dump. That's all it is. So there's that. Let's just secondly talk about the Blue Essence system as a whole, though. Why I don't rate it at all. Like, if someone in the comment section, and trust me, you see it all the time, Huzzy, you should do this, trust me, I'm a level 7, blah, blah, blah. That comment I will never listen to, because that is a person that is unfortunately taking the mastery system the completely wrong way. Like I mentioned earlier, Riot themselves have never used it as like a test of skill, and no high rating player thinks it's a test of skill, which I'll explain soon. But it's to show dedication. But dedication doesn't equal skill. Dedication doesn't equal good. People who are the most dedicated to their champion, who have millions of mastery points, can be bronze. And they are. Like, you can go, I think LOL King has the website, the feature, you can search for the highest mastery point person per champion. Majority of those people will be bronze and silver, because that's just, the average is law. There are some obviously high rating people with very high mastery, but there are a lot lower rating people than high rating people, so sod's law, they're going to be more likely going to be lower rating, which I've looked at that before, and it's fascinating. One little tidbit, I used to be on Team Dignitas, and the owner of Team Dignitas was Odie. He I'm not sure if it was the highest mastery point, but he was basically given like the thing on the LOL King website for like most dedicated for their rating, and he was like bronze 4, and he had the most Cogmore games on EU West. It was like, holy moly. So again, he probably had mastery 7, but does that mean you would trust him? You know, no. So that's why generally like the mastery system is a little bit iffy. The reason why it's iffy is 2 things. One, anybody can get Mastery 7, and I literally mean anybody. There are people that level brand new League accounts and would be able to get Mastery 7 if they had the Blue Essence while they're brand new to the game. Second point is you can't go down in Mastery. Like, if it's supposed to be this, like, I'm skillful at this champion, blah, 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 how can you only go up? So if you just play for 10 years and you get the most mastery, does everybody think you're the most skilled? No, you just played for like 10 years, like as an example. It's if it wanted to be a system that actually people would go, okay, that guy, he's got that maintained, that really good mastery level, you have to be able to go down. Like, if you have bad games, you should be punished for that if you want a system to actually show skill. That's like the rank system. That's what it's for. And then me and the stream yesterday, we actually had a conversation about this, of what they could actually do to make it better, to actually make it mean something other than just a cosmetic. If they wanted to actually turn it into a system that showed skill, one, yes, make it so that you can lose mastery. If you have a bad game, you go down. That will show that people who have high mastery are consistently performing with their champion. Second thing is, don't do it off the current S plus, all that type of system. It's not a good system. It basically takes, like, a lot of people in League, again, I see it in the comments, etc. A lot of people think KDA is really important, or KDA tells the whole story. I'm sure most of you know it doesn't. The KDA is... It's partially important, but in LCS, will you hear casters say the best player on the field is the person with the best KDA? A lot of the time, no. There's a lot more decisions going into being a good player than just KDA. A support player may have terrible KDA, but they may have won the game for their team. Same with the jungler or a top laner. You know, carries usually get good KDAs because they're carries. So having the system that is currently here with S plus next for everything like that, it's fundamentally based on KDA with farm and wards placed in that, you know, thrown in a little bit. And I don't think they could probably perfect that system enough to show skill. I don't think they could do anything that would make a computer know who really was the best person in that game, who was the best person to get an S, etc. I just don't think a computer can do that to human performance. So my suggestion would be go off win rate. Now, this is where a lot of people go, hell, no, 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 no. So this is exactly the point that I would make. If people disagree with it going off win rate, then that shows that they don't want it to be competitive, because win rate does, like, skill does equals win rate does equals skill type thing. And people that disagree with that generally are going to be the ones that just stuck in a rating that they don't think they belong in, but they kind of do. But if you're good with a champion, you will climb, especially if you're like, oh, this is my champion, I'm going to get high mastery on this thing. You should know what you're doing, no matter what role. You know, numerous YouTubers, numerous professionals have shown you can get practically challenger with any champion if you know what you're doing. Hell, even in my Unranked Diamond series, when I play a lot of champions, I get diamond playing random stuff. So if I can do it playing random stuff, you should be able to do it, you know, playing one thing, and you should be rewarded with win rate for mastery. Because then if you're like the way that I think I suggested it, having a 50% win rate to a lot of people doesn't seem that good, but in actual the grand scheme of things, 50% win rate in over a certain amount of games is actually better than average. You have to remember, most people in the game of League of Legends actually have a negative win rate, because you start ranked, and again, I'm talking about ranked here, which I'll talk about in a second as well, but most people don't realize you go down in rating if you go to bronze or low silver. When a brand new account starts ranked, you start about silver 3 to silver 4 MMR. So if you go to bronze or silver 5, silver 4, you pretty much have gone down in rating, which probably means you've got a negative win rate. So if you get to, like I suggested, I think 50 games played minimum and a 50% win rate to unlock Mastery level 6. To get Mastery level 7, I suggested 100 games minimum and 53% win rate, which is really good. So that's what I'd suggest. That would definitely, if I saw somebody with a Mastery 7 going, you should do this, this, and this, with that system, I'd know you have to have a 53% win rate, over 100 games played in ranked. And I'd be like, I can trust that. You know, that's pretty damn good. So, like, I just added that on to the end. But again, if they want to make the system only, like, to show skill and not just a cosmetic, which it currently is, it has to be just a rank system. You can't even compare people with mastery levels in normal games to mastery levels in ranked. And that, again, just completely proves that Riot doesn't care about its competitive integrity. It's not built for that at the moment, but it could turn into that. But yeah, when people like say, again, mastery level 7, blah, 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 they could have just done that all in normal games. They could have done that, you know, I think you can get mastery score in ARAM, I think. Like, it doesn't mean anything there. There's nothing on the line. You know, it's a lot harder to perform well in ranked where things actually matter and you've got that pressure on your back than a normal game that you could just be having fun and not really caring, so you've got no pressure. So, like, it would just have to be a rank system. And a lot of people, again, would disagree with that. And that's exactly my point, is that the current mastery system is not built for what a lot of people think it is. A lot of people think it's a skill-based system when it's not. It's in normal games. It goes off S performances that anybody can get. It just takes time. It's not a rewarding skill system. Like, again, like, just to point, like, expand the point about anybody can get a mastery level 7. Again, let's say you're a bronze 5 player, so you're the lowest rating you can get. You can get some S performances, and it may take you 1 in 100 games to get an S performance. But like, you get your S, you've got your 2 S minuses, if I'm not mistaken. Boom, you get mastery level 6. You've got that forever now, and your mastery score's only going to go up the more you play your champion. Then it takes you another 200 games to get mastery level 7 in those S or S plus performances on your champion, or whatever it is. I think it's 3 games then. And then you have mastery level 7, but you're still bronze 5. You've just played 300 games of a champion to get mastery level 7, but in your eyes, you're like, hey, mastery level 7, I've mastered this champion, and I can tell you right now you haven't. A lot of people also put the mastery system to mastering a champion. No. Faker, the best player in the world, has probably mastered pretty much any champion. There isn't a true mastering of champions. There's always something you can improve on, and Riot is constantly changing the game, so you constantly have to be updating your champion while you're playing it. So there is not anything such that is like mastering your champion. And I'll say, as a stepping stone to mastering your champion, you'd probably have to be challenger. Like, it's that simple. You can get challenger with any champion in the game. So if you're truly a master of your champion, you'd be challenger with it. Like, again, that's just pretty simple. But there we go. That is the first topic. So let me know what you think. If you love the mastery system and you disagree with everything I say, let me know. Again, be civil. Again, this is an adult conversation where I try to have them as well. Anyway, but yeah, let me know, because I don't like the mastery system, because a lot of people take it out of context, and especially in YouTube comments and Twitch chat, you see it all the time. Like, oh, listen to me, I'm a mastery 7, and it's just wrong. It's just, it doesn't show how good you are with a champ, which I wanted to be. I really wish they actually made it, like, show skill. That would be cool. But let's go into the next topic, which is going to be about the brand new game mode Clash. So I actually, on the day that they announced this, I will say I did know this was coming earlier, even before I think the public knew. But I've been looking forward to this for a really long time. Again, I've got tournament experience. I've won Riot tournaments before, and I just love them. I love tournaments. They're the best thing in League. You know, if you've never competed in a tournament, I'll say if you've got a friend group that you're all willing to give it a go, please do. Tournaments to me are the, like, top of what League of Legends stands for. And a lot of people would go, so, you know, you love tournaments, you love pre-made play, why don't you duo, why don't you flex queue? Well, solo to me has always been about solo queuing, and flex queue at the moment is just a joke. To me, you can't have a competitive game mode when some people are going in as a 3 and some as a 2, and then you've got one guy by himself, and there's... to me, that doesn't really work when you're going in as a full pre-made, because I'd never go into flex queue pretty much unless I was a full pre-made, because that's what the game mode I want, is full pre-made ranked. And they got rid of ranked 5s for flex queue, but they're bringing this system in, I think, to do a couple things. They're bringing it in to appease the people that want ranked 5s. It's not exactly ranked 5s, but it's close enough. And 2, to kind of bridge the gap between League of Legends and competitive League of Legends. Because as I've said to you guys, they're worlds apart. You can't really compare solo queue to LCS. And a lot of people don't realize that. And a lot of people are like, oh no, I can play my Riven. You know, she should be great in LCS and stuff like that. Or whatever champion it is. This tournament system, I'm actually hoping, is going to show people the differences. And it's not going to be perfect, because the quality of gameplay is obviously not going to be like pro level. It's still the gameplay that you're playing. But people would understand more that, oh, if I'm picking this, you know, solo queue champion in a pre-made environment, I'm going to get punished. And that then they discover why and what the differences are between competitive and normal League. So that's really good. So One thing that I am really happy about is the fact that it's in client. So again, a lot of people don't talk about this because there's not a lot of whole, like, you know, small tournament stuff on YouTube anymore. But obviously I used to play in them, and I'd say I'm really happy that they're doing it in client, because it sounds bad, but the black market of the League of Legends tournament system was a really big problem back in the day. Like about 2 or 3 years ago, it was a really big problem. So if you don't know how tournaments used to work, so basically your tournament organizers, that could be anybody, and as long as they get a big enough tournament and they get enough entries in, they could apply to Riot to get prizes. So Riot points, Riot will just give them the Riot points for free. Riot points and the grand prize of the skin Triumphant Rise. If you ever see someone with Triumphant Rise, they've won a tournament that Riot have given prizes for. The problem with this is that these tournament organizers, a lot of them were quite dodgy, and they just kept the prizes, like literally, and there's not a lot you could do, because to the average person who is in tournaments, how the hell are you going to contact Riot? You can't. Like, you can put a support ticket in, but that's the completely wrong department, so it's like, you just screwed. Like, what can you do? So a lot of people, the way that they used to deal with it, they posted it on Reddit and hope it got to the front page, and sometimes it did, and sometimes they got their rewards, and sometimes those tournament organizers were blacklisted. But it's not perfect. You know, your prizes got stolen. Triumphant Rise went on black markets to sell it for literally a few $100s per skin, and they got that for free. So, you know, it was a problem. But this system that it's in the client, that you sign up, whenever you get knocked out of the tournament, whether you get knocked out first round or you win the tournament, you'll instantly get whatever prize you deserve. Like, that is just really good, and I'm really happy about that, because it did drag down the tournament experience when you came second or something. It's like, where's our Riot points? And you just never got it. Like, that just sucked. So that's good. I'm really happy about that. So just generally, you know, I'm going to go into some basic advice that I have for people, because I'm sure most of you by now have read the article about it. It's just an in-client tournament system that, if I'm not mistaken, runs on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at least the first initial test. Friday is the bracket of 4 teams. Saturday is the bracket of 8 teams, and Sunday is the bracket of 16. And to advance to the next bracket, you've got to win. I think this is how it works. Draggle's told, Riot told some like fire in that, like how it works. So if you win Friday, you get into Saturday, and if you win Saturday, you get into Sunday. So technically, you'll have a really, really hard tournament on Sunday. And also, how it's done, I believe, is to the highest rating player on your team. So if you go in as a friend group and you've got gold people, but then you've got that one diamond guy, you're going to probably be in a diamond tournament. The reason why they had to do that is because they can't just have one guy stomping at an unnecessary disadvantage. If you go into a tournament with someone who is higher rating than you, you're accepting the consequences of having a higher rating person with you. They didn't want to do it the other way around, where, oh, you're a group of 4 golds and 1 diamond. Oh, we'll put you in a gold tournament because that's the average. And the diamond person will just absolutely wreck. And they just probably win. So like, that's the reason that they had to do it. So that's fine. And one thing just to say, I don't know if the system is in place yet because they're just testing it. I'm sure they want to see like how bad it is. But they have said they're going to try and do some prevention tactics with Smurfs. I've heard that they're going to make people attach a phone number to their account. So it's like 2-step verification. You know, text this number, you know, whatever, to know that it's your account and you're playing. Obviously, there are ways around that. There will be people that are a little bit sad that will do that. But for the vast majority of people, I'm sure it'll be fine. So there's that. So I'm fine with both of those things. I know some people would be a little bit about it, you know, going from the highest rating person. But again, they couldn't really do it anywhere else. The only person that would be annoyed by that is people that just wanted to have a high ELO friend kind of boost them to a tournament, which isn't, you know, what tournaments are for. But let's go for some general advice through tournaments. So how it's going to work is generally you're going to be given your opponent, I think the time is scale is like at 7:30 in the evening. You all have to check in. You all have to be there, or you'll concede the match. So firstly, you have to be there. And then 7:30, you are shown your opponent's team on a screen, that all their profiles are there. And then you have 6 minutes to scout your opponent. Now, a lot of people are like, what? What do you mean? So even before, you know, this inbuilt client system on the tournaments that I used to play online tournaments anyway, you knew who your opponent was before the match was happening, and you always scout your opponents. And this is why one tricks are terrible in tournaments. There's just no point entering because you're 100% going to get banned out. If you see somebody on a one trick, you're just banned because you're scouting them beforehand. This isn't the solo queue or flex queue that people have no idea you're queuing up. this is a tournament that people know who you are. Imagine in LCS that they, TSM picked up a Nidalee one trick. Every team's going to ban Nidalee. It's just the basic thing of something. So my advice, first thing is just don't be a one trick. Or if you are, try to expand your champion pool because this just isn't for you. I did have a guy complaining about that in Twitch chat the other day. And he just, you could tell, just never been in a tournament before. It just isn't for one tricks. Tournament systems aren't for one tricks. They never have been. One tricks are for like solo queue. So firstly, scout your opponent. For that 6 minutes, but if you want to do it really smart, have each person on your team scouting their opposition. So have your top laner scout their top laner, have your jungler scout their jungler, etc. To save time. Because if you have one guy trying to scout all 5 of them in 6 minutes, he's not going to get very far. So all do your job. Do your part, come up with a ban list of champions that you're a bit scared of that they may play, or one trick, or whatever it may be. Look through their match history, go on op.gg, etc. See if they've been practicing together and seeing what type of comp they're playing. Are they doing a teamfight comp? What champion? And what you might also see, just as a basic principle, some people pick up new champions to throw people off in these tournaments. But what you can do is in their match history, you can see, like, say, them practicing. They should be practicing. But if you see the same pick in every single team comp, but other champions are changing, ban the champion that doesn't change. So let's say they build a team fight team comp and they're changing 4 champions every single time they practice, but every single comp they have Morgana in it. Every single time, ban Morgana, because that shows they're relying on Morgana in every single one of these team comps. It could throw them off. So that's just basic. The next thing is make sure you're prepared before you go into the scouting phase. Play, some games to cover up what you think you're going to play. Make sure you know generally what you're going to play before you go in. Have comps in your head that you can adjust in the champion select depending what champions the enemy pick. But don't go in there blind. Don't go in there like, all right, let's just make our team comp in the couple minutes we have in champion select. That's not going to go well. Have a few team comps in mind of your strengths of your team. And this is where some people won't like this type tournament system, but you have to do it. In your team, you've got to identify a couple things. 1, who is the shot caller? 2, who is your strongest player? And 3, what is your best chance of winning? So shot caller, you need clean communication in order to win these games. If everybody's shouting and if everybody's kind of making calls, it's going to be a mess. So in tournaments, have one person that if they make the call, you all listen to. Even if you think it's a bad call, it's better for 5 people to follow a bad call because it just could go well, rather than 2 people to follow a good call and 3 people get caught out. Just follow that person's call as much as you can. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. You're not in LCS, but just try to do that as much as you can. Who's your best player? Try to build around them. Obviously, if your best player is support, that's not really going to work for carrying. But if your best player is an AD carry, well, then build an AD carry-centric team comp. If your best player is a mid, build a mid-lane-centric team comp. Try and do that as much as you can. This is tournament. This is what you got to do. And finding your best way to win. So even if your best player is an AD carry, but he's not confident, he's feeling ill, he's got a headache, whatever it may be, adjust to what you think is going to win. Okay, Bob's got a headache in bot lane. He can still play, but don't rely on him. Okay, let's go top lane and camp him to get him ahead. That's the idea. But that's the main things. Obviously, be a little bit careful for nerves, I guess. Some people will get nervous. But this is probably a little bit more casual of a tournament than most because it's in client. It should be fine. So just have fun. That's the main thing. Have fun with it. Don't be toxic. Like, again, a lot of people will be. Tournaments generally are a bit of a toxic area because there are actual prizes on the line and people get really salty when they get knocked out. Also, be careful of cheese. Cheese picks are quite prominent in tournaments as well because people just really want to go for quick wins. Especially, it depends how much scouting they do. Like in 6 minutes, you could probably find out quite a lot. Especially if you look at like the maps of like how many like deaths people have on what area of the map. They could know your jungle path in 6 minutes, and they could all 3 people gank you at level 2. So just be really careful for cheese picks as well. But yeah, it will be adjusted to whatever your highest rating player is. So my advice would be always stick to people around your same rating. If you can't do that and you've got a friend group that just is very broad in like their ranks, just still play if you want to. Like, again, it's meant for fun. My first ever online tournament in League of Legends, I was, I think, a silver player, and I went against a diamond mid laner, and I got first blood against them. So it's not impossible. I still remember that to this day. I killed an Anivia in, like, Season 3. Before, like, well, Season 2. No, Season 2, that would have been. So yeah, there's that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little bit video. Let me know what you think about the Champion Mastery. Let me know what you think about the tournament system. This league discussion went for very long, where it's about 2 topics that are quite interesting. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, sorry, like on it, give me your opinions down below. Remember, we've got the Steel Series giveaway happening as well, and I'll see you guys next time.